Welcome everybody, welcome. Hope everyone is good. The chat is going. As you can see, I'm just moving Discord in the background, as you can just see, out the way a little bit. Hope everyone is well. Apologies for last week. I didn't feel too great last week. I just had a cold, but unfortunately it's left me with a little bit of an irritating cough, and the yesterday really was the first day I could actually get or string some words together without having a splutter here and there. So it's good that today I should be able to go through most of it without having to cough down the microphone at you, but I will try, and if I do have the occasional splutter. How is everybody? How has everyone golfing week been? Unfortunately, we do keep looking at the clocks, and those clocks, especially for some of us, are getting to a point of where in the next 2 weeks or so, the clocks will be changing again, and it means that we will have even less time. So let's go have a quick look at the chat. I've got the chat in front of you, you can see right there, and I've also got down there, there you go, getting used to it. That's the Discord. Now what I could do is I could actually, rather than doing that, I could actually probably, that's the member chat, I could actually do the, can I get the, oh, I'll have to mess around with it to see if we can get the non-members chat. I'll tell you what I'll do for the moment. I will, excuse me, I will get rid of it more than anything else for the moment, because it might get a little bit confusing having too much stuff on the screen anyway. Especially we've got some things to talk about as well. And so, let's quickly get all the chat up to date. Andy's in the house, first one. There you go, Andy's first. Adrian's second. Evening guys, hello mate, hope you're well. BTC Golf, hello all, hello BTC. Michael's in the house also. Good morning everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world. Harry's in the house, too few people to start. Well, it always will be at the very start, but doesn't matter, that's what happens with live streams. It takes a little while for all of the notifications to flood out, and then you're just relying with the live stream for everyone to be available at that given time, which obviously people aren't. They're having tea, or they're still at work, or any other reason. So you'll never get the same amount of views on a live stream that you would do on a long format video. Neil's in the house, hello. Just keeping the tension rising before talking about the Mizuno stuff. Absolutely. And we do have some Mizuno stuff to talk about, because some images were, I'll say secretly, but they were leaked anyway online. So we'll talk about that one. E-Rock, hello. What's up, everyone? Many things are up. Also, whoever's listening, remind me to talk about PXG. Okay. Kyle, hello. Hello, Kyle, I hope you're well, bud. Dieter says hello from South Africa. Hello, Dieter. Hope you are doing good from down that way of the globe. The curly whirly thing. I didn't realise actually, I didn't find out earlier on this week that the globe is actually, it's not a round ball. It's actually obviously wider at the equator, and actually slightly bigger in the southern hemisphere than it is at the top. So it's like a very kind of fat, stumpy pear shape. There you go. Also learned that the with Mount Everest is not the tallest place on Earth. That's a long story. Anyway, Mr. Bumble, hi everyone. Hello, Mr. Bumble. Hope you are good. Andy says that guy in Discord sounds smart. Couldn't possibly comment. Neil said winter time is depressing for so many reasons. It is, and well, yeah, you get to a point of where because was it Neil's, you're up higher than me anyway. And so you get the delights of the being up north and northern hemisphere in the summertime, because it doesn't go dark for as long. And when it comes to this time of year, unfortunately, you get the beauty of it being dark all the time. Neil says, yeah, dark so early. Evening, Jay and Andrew, says Carl. Hello, Carl, hope you're well. Referencing the amount of work that Andy and I have been doing behind the scenes, trying to get all the information for the comparison videos that I'm doing at the moment, the best irons of 2024 in the players' distance, the players' side of things, and then also the game improvement side of golf clubs. So we've got 42 or 43 different irons now on the list. Soon, hopefully, to be followed by PXG stuff. However, unfortunately, PXG are not going to be on the list because, well, it's just too late. If I end up doing another video. It will be at the start of 2025 after all the other releases that are happening, and then they will be included on the best irons of 2025 in January. So far, that kind of idea. Steve's in the house. Hello, Steve. Hope you're well. Evening all. Steve says, Perry's evening. A lousy golf year for the weather. Oh, yeah, I know. It hasn't been the greatest. We have had a few sprinkles of summer. Not a huge amount, but there you go. It is one of those things. So much for global warming. And he says, why are you all calling me Andrew like my mum? I don't know. I had a little hump with you for some reason. I don't know. No, they're being very prim and proper here, you see. Very nice. I have this thing that I always, within reason, shorten people's names. Can't help it, so I do that. So yes, so last week should have been an open all access, but because I wasn't feeling great, more so my voice wasn't great, I was coughing a lot and stuff like that. Just a cold, just the beauty of having a 4-year-old or 4.5-year-old go to school and bring home every germ possible. So yeah, it's one of those things. But then that last week was supposed to be an open all access. This week is instead, Michael says, my 925 hot metal high launches arrive from Mizuno tomorrow. Oh, do they? Oh, yes, you'll have to do a video of the opening of the wrapper. Very nice. Carl says, go to your room. 4 hybrid, 7 wood. 4 hybrid or 7 wood. 4 hybrid or 7. What would I do? I think if you're looking for your pure on height, control, stopping power, that idea, 7 wood, you cannot beat it. If you're looking for a little bit more in the way of, I don't like the word workability, is Carl. Hey, greetings, Earthlings. I don't like the word workability. Workability basically means in the realms of how can you control dynamic loft? I can, if I want to, I can get a 7 wood which normally wants to hit the golf ball quite high just through center of gravity. It will have a propensity to want to try and launch that golf ball higher. And I don't like the fact that a lot of people would, because they then see workability as the fact that it goes up higher. Well, that workability for me is the fact that I can move it around. Now, a 7 wood will always be naturally harder to pump the ball low. You can do that as soon as you understand loft truly. You can do that. However, you're still fighting against the center of gravity of the club. So a hybrid will always be able to hit it slightly lower, like for like, than a hybrid, a fairy wood will. However, most people struggle to get the golf ball up in the air properly, functionally, and so a 7 wood will always win. So on balance, 7 wood wins all the time. Perry says, kids bring things home from school. At least like me, you won't get head lice. With you on that. Don, hello Don. Hi Jay, good to see you again. Good to see you, or not good to see you, but good to have you here anyway, Don. You know what I mean. Good to have you on here. Agree to disagree, 4 hybrid wins. 7 wood would win from an amateur's point of view as a generalized balance of speed, etc. For me, 4 hybrid wins. That's why I carry a 4 hybrid, not 7 wood. Most amateurs should use a 7 wood. It's like saying, like anything, like a 2-iron. Rory can make a 2-iron functional with the speed that he hits. Against the likes of me, I just don't swing fast enough, so I cannot make a 2-iron functional. For him, 2-iron is absolutely fine. For me, no. And then for other people, slower swing speeds, it will then go more and more and more. Mark says, out of the rough, even. Out of the rough, 7 wood. Carl says, got to rebuild my new JPX4 hybrid, ordered 0.7, oh yeah, shorter, and Mizuno didn't add any tip weight. Swing weight is C2's rather. Fly away. Come back. Yes, C2 is rather, wow. Leet, very leet. One of the good things about I'm getting to, because I spoke to a gentleman by the name of Adam Chester this evening, literally, about an hour ago. Yeah, about an hour ago. Went through a few different, he's the marketing manager. Anyone get hold of LinkedIn or Google, Adam Chester, PXG, you'll be able to tell me how high up in the thing he was. I don't know. It's either going to be Andy or Neil's 3 screens, but he's going to be on this quickly and then finds out who Adam Chester is at PXG. He's fairly high up there, UK and Europe marketing wise anyway. Really nice guy, really nice guy. Oh, we've got a flood now. Paul Clanner and Carolyn Sowell. Here we go, let's just do Paul's first. What advice training would you give to someone that doesn't like to take a divot with an iron as the resulting impact causes back pain? Wow. That's a really interesting thing because heavy divots may be so. Small divots, he's an intern. Well done, Andy. Small divots shouldn't in any way show, unless you're playing on like very, very hard golf courses. Small, tiny divots are the best thing to do that. Now, okay, if you are someone who digs down too much, if you're someone who absolutely struggles with hitting down too much, International Marketing Manager at PXG. There you go. So he's fairly high up there at least. He reports to the, I can't remember her name in PXG in America, but her name, who I can't remember, so apologies for that, whoever her name is. Yeah, she's up there in, she's like director level so that's who he reports to anyway. Right, got to get onto that because that will be the PXG conversation is an interesting one, but we will talk about this one anyway. Yes, you're right, Andy, that is a lot of weight to add. That's what happens when you chop that much weight off of the length of the golf club. So, right, what advice would you take? So you can quite easily use if you wanted to try and pick the golf ball more, you can quite easily do it a few different ways. First of all, there's 2 main ways that I like to try and understand how someone does it. Obviously, I've got quad down here that measures head data, and I can measure how changing certain things will then, how that as a byproduct to the individual. So did they change delivery when you ask them to do this? Did they change delivery when you ask them to do that? So what I would try and do initially, just put the ball on small tee and get the individual to take that ball off that tee without disturbing that tee, pick it off the top. Measure them on quad, see how their angle attack, etc. changes. Do they laterally shift? Do they anything else like that which changes their dynamics? If that works, brilliant. You won't have to worry about the second one. The other one is just purely go the other way. So you have the ball and then you put a tee X amount of distance in front, depending on how much you hit down. And then the whole idea is to hit the golf ball off the floor, but do not disturb the tee in front. If you're someone who hits down a lot, you will not only just take that ball, you'll take that tee out as well. To try and train yourself to try and stay a little bit more weight on your right hand side and it might get so much on your left hand side and get so shaft leany, try and do that. That's again, there's many different ways. We don't know which way you're going to react. So that's what I would suggest to do initially, and then we'll see after that if you need to go to the other one. Right, let's quickly go up again. Where have I missed something? There we go. Karen says, my husband wants a 7-wood but does not like the high price. He is a 30 handicap and in great shape at 76 years old. Good, absolutely good. eBay is your best bet. Golf clubs for cash. Your local pro shop sometimes will stock second-hand stuff in there. Generally speaking, if I was to blanket give someone any or a single 7-wood to get, which isn't brand new and it's old, we don't know how old it's going to be, we don't know what model it is, as a knee-jerk reaction, I would say anything from Ping, you're not going to be too far wrong. Depending if he needs the SF Tech, because he's a bit of a heavy fader of the golf ball, or he hits it fairly neutral but just wants a 7, go for the max, or whatever the standard version is. But anything from Ping, without knowing exactly what model he really wants to get, etc., generally speaking, anything from Ping in the last however long, 7-wood wise, it's just going to work just as good. So that's what I would do. So, but hopefully, Carolyn, he can find something on the likes of that, because you'll be able to pick something up 7-wood wise for not too much, especially on the likes of eBay, etc. Don says, working on my swing, find it difficult to transition at the top into my left side. If I get it right, the contact is great, but I find problematic to move to the left. Okay, so what I would do is I'd break it down. Yeah, I would get to a point of where, shall we get up? Pete's in the house already with that one. Shall we get up onto the other? Let's go over here. Let's get rid of, first of all, let's see if I can get rid of that. Bit of a mess down there, guys, but don't worry about it because I've been busy doing stuff. Right, apologies for the fact that I'm not tucked in. It's been a long day. Right, so let's just go get any golf club, doesn't matter what it is. So what I do like about certain things you can get, just go get a piece of wood. When I go, I've seen a piece of wood, let's say 2 feet long, 600 long, yeah, and can be 8 inches, 10 inches, 200 mil, 250 mil wide. I can do metric or imperial, depending on where you are on the planet. And really what you want is a broomstick underneath it. So you put the broomstick down. This is obviously not a broomstick, this is my golf club. And then you put the board on top. And the whole idea is when you do your swing, you will swing back this way and you will naturally find that you will start transitioning weight. You will go straight away, dunk, and your left foot will come up and then the right foot will go down because obviously it's a little bit of a seesaw. You want to try as best you can do to not put too much weight too early. So the whole idea is the fact that you resist going straight away onto your right hand side. You turn, but you don't go too much weight onto your right quad. So you turn into it. And so what you end up doing is you end up stopping at the top. You kind of do your turn, you feel the press, get the feeling of that wanting, that seesaw to go dunk on this side, and then you can hit your shot. That's the best way to feel the transition, the movement, it's not a sway, it is a lateral shift. And using something as simple as a piece of plank of wood and a broom handle, massive difference, you can feel it. It's just, yeah, very, very simple, but very, very easy and a simple way for you to feel transition. Right, let's go back over to here. I'm gonna have to zoom up, guys. Sorry, I apologise for that. But always on these, I find it difficult to be able to answer every single question as they're coming in. I kind of have to then zoom. Carl says, hi Andy, I'm gonna add 10 grams and increase the length till it gets D0, just under ½ inch, I reckon, so it will still be shorter than standard. Harry says, at Paul Glanner, you might check out the info on easiest swing. They have a different approach to taking divots. Everyone's got different ideas, and if at the end of the day, no different to every coach, hopefully you should say this, doesn't matter what coach you go to, if they make you better, then all is good. You don't have to stay with the coach that you are. If you honestly feel a different change of pace or a different change of personality will equally add, then by all means do so. No pro should be upset with other people seeking knowledge from someone else, because at the end of the day, the whole idea, yes, okay, pros, we make money and stuff from coaching, or I used to at least, and so yes, I understand it is a business, but basically the reason we are very lucky in this kind of idea that we make our living on the basis of other people's fun and enjoyment. So primarily the most important thing is the person enjoy themselves and they're learning, and if they can get that from some other pro, no pro should be upset at all with anyone else for doing that. Right, Eric says lots of companies, 7 woods are standard lengths of 42 inches or more, PXG, Ping, Callaway at least. I think that's a little too long for most people. 41, 41.5 makes more sense. What do you think? Eric, I agree. The amount of times that when I used to do wood fittings especially, the amount of times that those woods came in shorter than standard is mental. The one good thing with Ping, etc., counter to what was been discussed high up there from Kyle is the fact that if you select a swing weight and you do certain things to shaft length, Ping will try their utmost to try and make sure it maintains a certain level of sensibility. Paul says, thanks at Harry, cover will do. No problem on that one. I'm pretty certain Harry for that one, so well done. And he says 1 inch can be 4 to 6 mile an hour clubhead speed. That's a lot to lose, not only on distance but peak height and spin rate. That is also a massively important consideration. PG says at Don Geeks, shift earlier. Yes, that works, but feeling it is a really good thing. So getting that little, just that balance board is an amazingly good thing to sort of, you turn, but resist moving too much weight. You can actually move it into your right hand, but resist moving too much and too quick. And at the top there, pause, press the weight into the left-hand side so you feel that teeter-totter, that seesaw effect, and then go with your downswing. Don't forget to ground force. If you can. Long conversation about that. We won't go into that one, but fair enough. Paul says, thanks for reply. Back is a constant problem with my golf. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. Absolutely, I understand. Any kind of joint issues with anything like that, but especially golf, can be quite uncomfortable. Really ruins the game, it does. So I hope you feel better and as best as you can do, Paul. Really do. Don says, at Pete, I find that hard to do. Yeah, it is. I mean, unfortunately, shifting earlier, it's getting the sequence right, and by hopefully just doing that simple thing there, by understanding and feeling the sequence, doing it in slow motion as such, you can feel your mass move when your mass moves. You can feel at the top of your transition when you start. When you do it from a slow point of view, don't forget to, and don't be frightened of having a pause at the top to allow you to shift that feeling, and then just sort of build that into a slightly faster motion. Basically what will happen is the faster you go, the less movement that you'll be able to do. So what I mean by less movement is the fact that if you want to be able to transfer onto your lead side into impact, you first have got to try and make sure that you don't transfer too much weight on the right side during the backswing. And in transition, you need to be able to transfer that weight, that mass. You can't do that if you're 4 inches this side of it. You'll find every single tour player and tour pro and elite player, when they move their body, they will sway fractionally off the golf ball. Initial that first movement of the takeaway, they will move their mass slightly onto their right hand side. But by the time they have got to the top of the backswing, by the time they have got to transition, they have already recentered and actually on lead. And so that's when the most of it then comes after. They have got this initial move, but they're already starting to prep to the left before they've finished their right. Even the pros need to prepare for it. Asking you guys to even swing slower than that, but it doesn't matter, even at the amateur speeds, asking you guys to be able to do all that movement in that small amount of time is difficult. The pros are doing it even earlier. They're recentering, they move off and they're already recentering before this has all got to the top. Carl says, Phil, I feel your pain quite literally. I know joint pain is no fun whatsoever. I know, and I will know come January and February because of its driver release time, and I always hurt. Pete G says, I start my shift once my eyes start lifting. I start my shift once my eyes start lifting. Try it on half or slow swings until you get the feel. Sorry, Pete, it's a typo, but my little brain. Eric has retracted a couple, more than a couple, but we'll have a look at those. Don says, thanks Jay, I'm buying a plank of wood and a broom handle tomorrow. I'm all for the cheap ways of doing things. I don't believe really in the day of, okay, it's marketing, of course it is, but there are so many different things that you can use around the house, and very, very simple things, cost-effective ways of learning a certain movement without having to go out and buying the next best swing aid. Things around your house, cheap and work very well. Right, so Carl says, if you are a visual learner and want to see a lateral shift, watch some early videos of swing couple swings. Amazing, absolutely, he does. He's got a very, very pronounced lateral shift. Nothing wrong with a lateral shift whatsoever. Name withdrawn, what a YouTube handle. Well done, loving that. Name withdrawn. Oh, just going to zoom back up again, scroll. Getting the Mizuno ST Max driver soon, 9.5 degrees stiff shaft. Good driver, one that I have got in the bag. Works exceptionally well. Is it as long as my old driver? No, it's not. It's got a slightly higher spin profile. However, when I'm not on it, and bear in mind, guys, we are all human, so we have a different variation of not on it. Why would you give it up? Why would you give up that level of extra forgiveness when you're not quite hitting it how you should do? So anything that's going to be like that is going to help you round your game into making your scores better. Why the heck not? And it says, guys, if Jay misses a question or isn't able to answer anything, consider joining Discord public section. Yes, you can. This is here. I've got the tee box. There we go. Da-da-da, and that's the tee box section, and then you can post all your bits and pieces in there, and of course we will answer as best as we possibly can do. Eric says, I have the speed but deliver low dynamic loft. I'd like to be fitted for a 25-ish degree hybrid as a 4-iron replacement. However, fitters only have heavier, stiffer options in longer lengths, like the 3 hybrid. That, I suppose, depending on what manufacturer you are, absolutely. It's a bit of a pain because, again, when I was coaching custom fitment full time, especially for ping, let's pick on ping because ping's easy to pick on. So I had in my complement of shafts, I bought in extra shafts, different length shafts, custom shafts as well. I had the most comprehensive shaft choice of any ping account in the whole entire UK, and the only way you could possibly get a more comprehensive shaft choice would actually physically go into the HQ and ping in Gainsborough for a fitting. And so I was a great fan of making sure that when you're going to go for a fitting, you have got all of the components there needed, not just for the run-of-the-mill people. You have to cater for every single golfer, not just the masses which walk through the door. It's very difficult to fit someone if you haven't got the right components there. So I understand, and it is difficult. Everyone delivers differently, and yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Eric says, what's the best way to approach being fitted for a high lofted hybrid if I can't try a shaft that's the right length? Well, the interesting thing would be, depending on if you actually need the length, etc. Now you could, if you only had the 3 hybrid, you could grip down it. I'm not a great fan of that because it does change quite a bit sometimes for people if you grip down the shaft just to emulate a smaller shaft. It doesn't emulate it properly, and it will kind of counterbalances it as well slightly because of the amount you've got on the butt end out the grip. So that's not ideal at all. It's difficult. Go somewhere where they have got proper shaft options. I know that's a really get out of jail free card saying that, but that's the only thing. If you are sensitive to certain things and you are in that realm, that bracket of needing that, the only way you can get fitted for that, there is no cheat. There is only a way that finding a center that has got different length shafts, and it will potentially mean ringing them up. If you ring ping, for example, let's just talk about continue on ping. If you ring ping and say, look, I'm looking for this, they will only be able to give you fitting account numbers, or at least just point you to the website and say, this is where they are. It will be down to you to unfortunately ring them and say, look, I am this, I am that, I am looking for this and that. Have you got the options in shaft there for me? And hopefully they'll be honest. And if they are honest, they'll say yes or no. And it potentially will mean you're going to have to drive a certain distance to get what you need. But with the cost of everything nowadays, I think it is well worth making sure you go from one place to another place to make sure you get properly fitted. If not, it can be an expensive waste of money. Right, let's go. Peely. Hello. Hello. Carl says, can anyone tell me why a practice swing is perfect length and tempo, then as soon as the ball on the floor, oh dear, that's an emotional issue. That's why you can, why people have, say, chipping, and they do these lovely chipping motions where the sole of the golf club literally just brushes the ground, just does that. Just lovely, just beautiful, no problem whatsoever. Then as soon as they focus on the golf ball, thud. It's an emotional thing. You will always see someone deliver the golf ball, leaving the golf club differently as soon as they're hitting something rather than swinging at nothing. It's common. It very is common. So P says, I've got my first hole-in-one yesterday. Well done. Congrats. Did you record it? Does it count? Did anyone see it? Does it count? No, of course it does. Well done. Eric says, sorry for the distractions. I was trying to fit too long a message into the chat box there. I had to divide it up into these two above. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. It wasn't, I didn't expect you to have written something which is not fit for everybody's eyes. So you're absolutely fine. Perry's congratulating. Everyone's congratulating Bealey. Well done. Well done. Pick on Ping. Pick up a penguin. Yes. Ping are a great manufacturer. They really, really are. I find it very, very difficult to say anything bad necessarily about Ping. They are a great company to work for. Everyone is super, super happy when you speak to them. I don't know what they feed them there, how much they pay them, or what they put in their coffee. However, they are always seemingly very, very happy and helpful on the phone. When you visit them as well in the HQ, even the people on the lines who work in the warehouse making all of these golf clubs, they're always, unless they're wearing masks, you know, with sort of like pre-smiled faces on there, I don't know, but they all seem to be pretty darn happy. There you go. Happiest golf company by far. Right, drinks are on. Yes, shouldn't have said that, P. You're now in a situation of, yep, you own everyone drinks now. Amar Gill, I just picked up the JPX Hot Metal Pro set. Any thoughts on them? Been playing for 2 years, handicap is 20, but want clubs I can grow into as well. Are they the 923s, 925s, 921s? I'm assuming they're 925s, just saying obviously because they've just come out. Great golf clubs. Interesting looks, still have not quite as yet got over the looks change. Not everyone has either. Although you cannot in any way get past just how good they are from forgiveness point of view. Out the middle, they're no different to everything else and no different at all to the previous ones. They're just as fast out the middle as the old 923, but what the new 925s do, very, very good from forgiveness. 923s were very, very good as well. Can't complain too much about out the toe. They're amazingly good. It's amazing just how well the change in how they're doing things with the 925, how much difference it really makes to forgiveness. Really, really, really good. P says, par 3, 167, P777 iron, stiff stock shafts, ball, we need to know the ball, TP5X from Peely there. JPX 923s, arguably the best looking JPX iron they've ever made, absolutely. I still prefer the 923 to the 925, looks wise, absolutely. And it says 167 from 33 is close to 90 mile an hour. Nice. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yep. Perry says if hybrids are aimed at those of us who don't have sufficient swing speed to get the ball about the best out of the equivalent iron, seems odd to have stiff shafts. No. So everyone's got a bend profile, and I've got stiff shafts in my hybrids. And all it effectively means is with the speed that you swing and the tempo that you swing at, this is from Mizuno Swing DNA, and I'm just using their terminology more than anything else. It's just how aggressive you are in transition. How much do you load that shaft? How aggressive are you in transition? Will dictate what kind of bend profile you require, what your flex and weight effectively is, and what kind of bend profile you need. And so that then translates all the way through. It doesn't matter at what point you have to move from one to the other, because again, you could quite easily be moving into hybrids at whatever number on the basis that you de-loft too much. So you're not going to go straight into a 4-iron or 3-iron on the basis of speed, because you produce enough speed, but you just don't produce enough loft. With a hybrid or fairway wood that want for the CGs to a little bit catch up with the shaft and then hit a natural higher flight, you're still going to need the bend profile to be stable, and that would still mean running a similar bend profile to that of your irons. So it's just a measure of what you need, what your swing dictates more than anything else. Andy says stiff doesn't always mean faster. Absolutely, it just means, okay, so stiff is an interesting word because obviously one manufacturer's stiff than the manufacturer's regular, and another manufacturer's extra stiff. It all depends on which one we're talking about because everything is weirdly and wonderfully different. And he said short backswing with more grunt. Yeah, I'm fairly short in my backswing, but I don't have any issue with producing speed. No different to say John Rahm. He's short as well and produces a lot of speed, and so it's horses for courses as such. Michael says I'm testing 5 Tour Striker training aids at my golf spy right now. It's a five Tour. Have fun. Wow. There was an image, was it Bad Golf Made Easier? Leslie Nielsen was it. And I don't know the guy, can't remember the guy, but it was a comedy anyway. And you cut to this shot of him wearing every single potential rubber band and everything else like that. And I've just had that in my head. When whoever can pop that on the tee box on Discord and I'll share it to you, but I can't remember what it was, but it was funny anyway. I can't remember his name. Neil says, Amar Gill, I love my 923 Top Mil Pros. A small head size improved my striking. Absolutely, having that smaller head shape focuses the mind, and the 923s, the Hot Metal Pros, look really quite nice. Do you have to go up again? Sorry about that. Gold Fox. Shaft stiffness doesn't always doesn't always mean fast. One of the longest drivers in the world uses regular and still hits it 300 plus yards carry. Easily. All depends on what your transition is. Excuse me, YouTube Winnie Pops. All depends on how you generate that speed more than anything else. Carl says, Michael, plane mate, it's a workout. Michael, plane mate, it's a workout. I'm lost. Oh, okay, plane mate. It must be a another training aid. Oh my God, right, yeah, he's in the chats. And he says, it's not how fast you swing, it's how you swing it fast. There you go, yeah, very much so. Amar says, nice, I'm upgrading from the Mizuno MP52. Yeah, good irons, actually, the 52s. And didn't know they were players' irons, so they definitely have improved my ball striking, but I'm excited for the modern loft and forgiveness. Somewhat different if you go from one to the other. The feel will be different massively. The MP52s, even though obviously they are not pure on blades. Here we go. I'm sure I should be able to get this away with this. May or may not. All right.
Rigid, elbow tucked in close, blocked.
He's got something down his back. As you can see there, look, wow, look at that. Just keep that left arm straight. Headbands on. He's, this is quite funny. Who was this?
I will never learn to play golf like a pro. Why can't I find someone to teach me to play golf my way?
Funniest man on the planet. There we go. Just so I don't want to do any more because I might get a copyright strike from YouTube. Yes, they are that picky. Right, so hope everyone enjoyed that. Let's go have a look. Perry says it was the comment that the unnamed fitter only had stiff shafts. Oh, I'm with you now. Sorry, yes. Andy says JPX Hot Metal Pro aren't players' irons really, smaller heads, but just as forgiving as the regular Hot Metal. The 925s are, the Hot Metal Pros are a perfect blend. It is like Mizuno made their technology basically for the Hot Metal Pro and then stuck it onto the Hot Metal Standard and the Hot Metal High Launch. I mean, the Hot Metal High Launch and the Hot Metal Pro are really, really forgiving. They're one of the most forgiving irons out there as such. It's just that the Hot Metal Pro just works so well with it. Neil says, am I going to just know that the irons are strong lofted, so the 5 iron is at least a 4 iron in old money, so you need to have reasonable speed for it to hold a green. Yes, if you're going to go from MP52, I definitely wouldn't be going 4 iron because of just the nature of the different lofts. You're absolutely right there, Neil, so definitely something to remember. Ryan F, can the 925 Fly High hybrids be bent stronger or weaker? Have ordered a couple following your impressive review and have been informed they cannot be bent. They can definitely be bent in lie, and anyone, they should be able to be bent a tweaky in loft a little bit. They won't be able to be. The problem is with anything like Mizuno do, they only work on compound movements. So did you need your lie angle bent at all? Commonly on hybrids they need to be bent to a certain extent. If you needed to have your lie angles changed, then very quickly they use all the amount of movement that you can get. So if you're going to move them by 2 degrees or 1 degree or so, there'll be very, if not tiny amounts of movement that you'll actually be able to do on the heads. If you're not moving the lie whatsoever, then there's no reason why they cannot bend it, apart from they're worried. But effectively, from what I understand, there's no difference in just the other plane, moving it upright or moving it that way. There's no real difference. Jeff says, just bought a set of Pro 245s, lovely golf clubs based on many of your vids, got fitted, tried multiple heads and they come out on top, far and away. Thanks for the effort in your videos, top quality stuff. That's absolutely, you're welcome, Jeff. The work that I put into all the videos and the continuation of the evolution of the videos to bring in more down the lines of the heat mapping and everything else like that is basically just to give you guys more information when it comes to you making better choices. And in a world of marketing, in a world of there is so much stuff which is shoved in front of your face, media stuff made by different sources, some the manufacturer, some paid for reviewers. There's many different sources of where information would be put across your face and your eyes and is not necessarily 100% true. So I'm glad and happy that my reviews are being used in the correct way. Carl says, as a datum point, my driver speed is 91 miles an hour and I've got to fit into a stiff shaft. Absolutely fine, no problem with that whatsoever. It's absolutely down to how you generate that speed. I have seen people, seniors, fitted into a stiff shaft. Why? Because 2 reasons. One, if you imagine when you get to the age of say 50, 60 and your swing speed reduces, primarily with age, initially, the reduction in speed does not come from a reduction in strength. What it comes from is a reduction in the range of motion. As we get older, we can't turn as much because we don't keep ourselves elastic, we don't stretch, we don't do any form of Pilates or yoga or anything else like that. And so naturally we become less mobile, more rigid. And so that's what is the biggest problem with swing speed as you get older. It's not the fact that you're getting weaker initially, it is everything to do with the fact that you cannot rotate your body as much. You have not got the range of motion before you start going like this. And so it's natural your swing starts to become more compact. You then cannot accelerate with that amount of speed that you could accelerate with, you still got, but it's now done under a smaller range of motion. So you always reduce speed a little bit. But the amount of force that you apply on the shaft hasn't changed, and sometimes can even add to it because of the amount that you want to try and hit it as much. So you could actually find that as you go slower in speed, you actually need a stiffer shaft. I mean, it's a long conversation, but effectively I have seen it and dealt with it many, many times. Adrian says, Ryan, I've ordered 2 and Mizuno say they can be bent by 1 degree. Yep, depending on what lies, etc. What Mizuno product? YouTube drink. What new Mizuno products are coming out? Sometimes it's best just to reset and have another go. So, I think we'd all agree that manufacturers try the best they possibly can do to keep anything which is definitely not in media eyes, out of media eyes, as long as they possibly can do. But something was missed. There was a little sneaky thing that went out, and we'll go into that one absolutely in a couple of minutes. But yes, good reminder. And he says you can order the Fly High plus and 2 degrees from most distributors. Yep, that will depend on, obviously, it's if you go up by 2 degrees or down by 2 degrees on the lie, you will have no movement for loft. And if you go up by 1 or down by 1 on lie, you'll only have 1 degree on loft. It is a compound motion. They cannot go 2 degrees and 2 degrees. No different to the forged heads. Let's say you bend 3 degrees upright, then you cannot then add 3 or 2 degrees of loft. It will not bend compound 5. Or Mizuno won't bend compound 5. They will bend compound 5, absolutely, but Mizuno won't do it. But that's the whole idea. Adrian says, I ordered 2 degree flat and 2 strong, and Mizuno came back with 1 degree only on the loft. Yeah, effectively. They're just trying to tweak as much as they can do. They get away with as much as they can. Name withdrawn, been tilting forward, down on my downswing, and it's been producing a fade recently. Any fixes? So you're going like that as such. Okay. So am I right in saying that the fact that you're going forward and down, so your chest rather than the rotating is going down like that? Is that right? Name withdrawn? Well, there's going to be a pause. But there is not a fix. There's no such things as fixes, but there are things that, yes, okay. So let's go up to let's go to the thing very, very quickly. I've just got to keep an eye on the time today. Perry says, think I need a new driver fitting my 97 miles an hour, 63 year age, and have a regular shaft. I wait to see what ping releases for 2025 first. Yeah, 97 miles an hour, you can have a regular shaft if you generate that speed quite non-aggressively, absolutely no problem. But then again, what is the regular shaft? That regular shaft can be a multitude of different shafts, and they all have different bend profiles, and no one says this is a standard, that's a standard, that's a standard. So everything that fits into there is going to be this. Every manufacturer's got their own standard of what they think regular, stiff, and every extra stiff is. So, oh hey, I thought of a legitimate question. Does anyone know the difference, if any, between clubs made for the Japanese domestic market and those the rest of the world? I saw what looked to be a few great deals on your old JMD 230s. Generally speaking, they'll make them, the specifications that the Japanese market will be slightly different to the European market, as in they will be slightly flatter and slightly shorter, as a general purpose rule from previous. Now, obviously that changes as time goes on, but again, that is a general thing. And he says they are often quite have light heads and short shafts. Yeah, they have to go light heads because of the short shafts, but yeah, effectively, if you depends on how you do it and what shafts you have on there and how they cut it. I mean, yeah, we won't get into it. Best thing to do is get fitted for them where you are. I would like to say that first of all before I say anything else. Right, let's quickly do my name withdrawals. Let's just do the tilting forward down on my backswing idea. So if anyone, I will literally now flick it back over to this way. Oh, dear me. I need to get up more anyway, so thank you very much for that. Hey, Leslie. I got you, babe. Right, so another thing on there. It's a great thing, that was. Right, okay, so as you're doing your takeaway, what you're doing is you're finding that rather than turning, you're kind of turning that way. You're going down and turn like this way rather than anything else, right? So very simple things, as in a case of let's try that feeling of getting that shoulder going up to the sky. So where this problem is by you going this way, yeah, you are not basically turning your shoulders on this plane like you would do like this, yeah, no different. You're not doing this. What you're doing is you're doing that in your backswing. You're bending over. Now, of course, in the backswing, we have to do a little bit of compound twisting. So in the backswing, normally we're bending over, so we are literally like that. But at the top of the backswing, we are not like this. If anything, we are like that. Because as if I was just to literally keep this like this and just turn, we would just do this. Yeah, so effectively that, so you can see. But what we have to do, we have to swap bend for tilt. And so we have to be here, yeah? And so that is a little bit of a cookie crumble thing for people to work out in their head. Sometimes their brain just doesn't work. Sometimes they don't know what muscles they need to use to get that working. Slowly is always good. Best thing to try and do, that shoulder to the sky, to the behind you. Let's see if we can get the feeling of you turning that shoulder this way. Now, of course, we don't want you doing this, but for someone who does this so much, you getting the feeling of doing that recenters you and actually gets you. Now, of course, you're going to have to be wary of where your feet are and your mass, and we don't start bending knees around and stuff like that. But one thing at a time. We need to get you understanding how to use your body. We want to try and get you away from doing this. We don't want to get you from doing that. We want to get that shoulder going this way. So trying to turn and trying to get that shoulder going towards the target, going this way up here. Now for me, obviously that produces my feeling of going this way. But for you that goes like that, getting you going backwards will actually recenter you. There's loads of other things you can do a little bit, but that's probably the simplest and easiest way to do it. Do it in front of a mirror. Great thing. It's giving you like literally feedback there and then. Instant feedback. Wrong time of year, but your shadow is a really good thing as well. Now you can see my shadow on the floor. Don't know if you can see it. You can see the shadow on the floor. Does it follow me a little bit? Kinda. There we go. If you're kind of going like this, you can see your shadow move with you straight away. It's instant. You can get that shoulder going that way. You can start getting to a point of where you can turn, and I want you to get to a point where you turn, but your head is not moving. You should be able to do like one of those ventriloquist thingies, whether they, not ventriloquist, you know, the things they do with that, but joking around, they can, ventriloquist is the person that do the, anyway, yeah. You kind of get the idea. You should be able to get to a point of where you can do all the movements with your body and your head should not move. It is just a training thing. It's all it is a training thing. But we don't want you going that way. You don't want to go that way. Let's get that shoulder feeling. Well, as soon as you go on the way back, that shoulder goes towards target. Obviously that will make me want to bend this way. But for you who has this want to go this way, every single time you go that way, feeling that this shoulder's actually going this way, that will actually recenter you to get to a point of where you're there. That's the best way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it. Doing it in front of a mirror, doing it in front of somewhere where you can see a shadow, a light behind you, anything else like that, it just gives you instant feedback. Don't do it too quickly, do it nice and slowly. Your brain sometimes can't get your muscles moving at the speed you think they should do, and you think, how hard could it be? Well, it turns out that even doesn't matter how old you are, if you haven't moved your body in a certain way, it turns out it's actually quite difficult, and it gets harder as you get older to tell your muscles to do something that it's not routinely used to doing. And so do it nice and slow, take it easy, take it slowly, you'll be able to get that out of your golf swing. Flick it black. Where's the old button? There it is. Right, let's go back to the chat section and we'll go up. Golf Fox says, from the time I focused more on short game chipping, pitching from 100 120 yards in many years ago was the time my score's starting to improve and I stopped caring about new clubs every year. It is different for different people, so everyone has different skill sets in different areas. There is a rule of this driver. If you can get a driver fitted that stops the amount of penalty shots. What I mean by penalty shots are the shots you hit in the tree, shots you hit out of bounds, tops into the rough in front of you, all these weird and wonderful ones that you do with driver. If you can be fitted into a driver that, whether it be swing weight, whether it be the shaft, whether it be the balance of the golf club, whether it be just the look of the head transforms how you use it, then a win's a win. Tuition will always win, of course it will do, but sometimes just very simple equipment changes can have a massive difference to how the golfer actually performs. Approach is as simple as this: the closer you can get to the hole, the lower your handicap. Simple as that. I think, I cannot remember now from, I think it's something on the lines of like the difference between a 7-iron from the fairway with a 15 handicap and a 7-iron from the fairway with a scratch golfer. The difference between how far they hit it away is quite considerable. And even so, I think it's something on the lines of, I don't want to say because I can't quite remember, but it is considerably different to a point of where most 15 handicappers will miss the green, or they have to have a very, very big green to be able to, actually be that distance away. So approach play absolutely helps as well. So if you can get better on your iron play, more accurate with your driver, not hitting fairway, not hitting rough, just not hitting poo shots which cause you penalty strokes. That is the biggest key. It's the penalty strokes, not you hitting the fairway, not you hitting the rough. Penalty strokes. You get a driver to fix that, or you fix that with the golf swing, absolutely fine. Approach play is the best way of getting your score down after that with your irons. And then, yes, you are right. When GolfFox says your propensity to try and actually get as close to the pin as possible from your short game, not double hitting. This is another one when it comes to your short game in the rough and stuff like that in and around the green. Don't hit it twice. Make sure you give it enough to get on the green. I don't care what you think you are, but you are always better when you are putting than chipping. It doesn't matter how bad you are on your putter. You've got to be pretty darn poo with your putter to not be chipping from the rough with all the things that can happen within the short game side of things. There you go. And he says they quite often have light heads, and we've done that already. Ryan says, thanks gents, I ordered 2, strong, and the owner, Snake in Golf himself, called it to say it couldn't be done. Carl says, thanks. And he says, put a second ball 6 inches closer to you, turn and hide the closer ball. Oh, sorry, turn and hide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming ready or not? Not that game. You can tell I got a 4-year-old. Noz, any idea about draw bias iron head? Any idea about draw bias iron head? Any particular? Is that a request for? Is there any irons that are draw biased, or? I don't know. Name of drawn, thank you. You're welcome, absolutely fine. Let's just go down and then, I've still got more to do. Noz, just add a little bit more detailed information in there. I'm quite happy to answer your question. Carl, so the shadow visual is almost excellent. Sorry, is most excellent, not almost. Is most excellent. Well, thank you, Carl, no problem whatsoever. Boo, more new clubs. I'm pretty certain you're unhappy to see that one. And he says, Carl and Carl buy more clubs than they play rounds. That is actually quite possibly true. Carl says, I haven't bought clubs since 2019. That's all right, because Carl's making up for it, don't worry. And when I'm getting new clubs, I'm changing shafts. Liar, says Andy to Carl. Is it Jepe? Is it Hepe? Apologies if I got it wrong. As a returning player, I haven't been playing for 12 years. I recently bought a JPX 921 Forge set, very good set of irons. And I'm absolutely in love, but there are extra stiff shafts on them and I am 36 years old. Is that optimal? Okay, it's literally, that one is like me watching you get into a car from 50 meters away and telling you exactly how much knee bend you have to the degree. I haven't got a clue. I would need a lot more information. So 36 years old, age necessarily isn't any kind of measure of swing speed or anything else like that. And swing speed itself is not in any form a measure of what bend profile we require. Honestly, the only way to properly do it is actually have your bend profile tested. Go to anywhere where there's a Mizuno swing DNA retailer, an account holder that fits using the swing DNA. What I mean by fits using the swing, all account holders, all fitting accounts should use the swing DNA. They're supplied with one, they should use it. There are reasons why they don't, which I've covered on other live streams, and it is a little bit of a why they don't. It's a selling reason why they do not, but we won't go into it. So and just test yourself. Go get 3 swings. That's all you need. Make sure you're fully warmed up to start with, and hit 3 shots. They don't necessarily matter where the golf ball goes or anything else like that. We just need 3 shots. As soon as you've got 3 shots, you've got your bend profile, and we can understand then by what you should really be in as opposed to what you have. How close are you? How far away are you? And then you'll be able to understand necessarily if you need to consider changing your shafts or not. Remember, we are talking about JPX 921, so the difference between the 921 and 925, there is a difference, but not hugely. And of course, at the moment, the 923 forged is still current until the early part of the year, of the coming year. So you still have got time to use the JPX 923, which is always going to be much closer to the JPX 921 than the 925 would be to the 921. So jump in there quite quick, find out what your shaft requirements are. You can test the 923 with your new custom fit shafts, and the heads are going to be very, very close anyway. So any kind of improvements that you see with the 923 with the new shaft should be emulated for the most part with your older 921s. Hopefully that has answered your question. Andy, where we go? No, we still need more. There we go. They just went through customs. That's half a decade. Yes, it is. 2019. But Carl's on the old calculator already. Andy says 1 set, 0 rounds. My point stands. Carl says shit. They're in New York. They must have got hijacked. Harry says we are back at the amusing competition of golf stats. No, we're not. No, we're not. So Carl says, Harry, since I can't play golf, I pretend that it's not. I pretend that it's not killing. I may have a big garage sale by next summer. Why not get some money back if you can? Yeah, thanks a lot. Neil says suspense on Mizuno talk is rising. Yes, there will be. I need to get through all this first. And remember to talk PXG again. Remember, yeah, I know. Thank you very, very much. Keep me going on this one. I just get carried away trying to reply to everybody's. Everybody is very kind on putting their chat requests and stuff in. So I'm just trying to get old and I can't. Maybe I should not spend as much time on each individual one, but we'll do. 36-year-old Sai, I know, I was there once also. Harry says, Mizuno, I haven't forgot. And Carl says, oh no, Cobra have released the King Tours in black, I'm screwed. No, just your marker pen, just black your marker pen up. And of course, as soon as you rub it off by 1 shot, black marker pen again, you're there, no problem. Spray paint, same thing, like that, no problem, look exactly the same. Until you obviously use it, you have to spray paint it again. But you kind of get the idea, it's absolutely fine. They do look really good. And of course they're going to work, it's just exactly the same, but they do look really very, very good. They're going on in the old, yeah. So Discord's going on as well. I'm not reading that. I cannot do both things at once. So Ryan says, do you do custom fittings? Good fitters seem to be hardy. I used to, and I will be doing and I still do certain sessions. It is very, very much, being honest, it has to be built around me, my schedule, and what I'm able to do. I will be doing fittings on appointment only situation when and if I'm free. At Flemington Golf Club, they're building a new thing there, new studio, and so all the stuff's going to go in there. There's going to be TrackMan in there. If I can get my quad in there instead, and the problem is I possibly will use my quad as well and use my own bits and pieces. But again, that's for later on. But effectively, they're building that now, and they're starting to get that functioning, and so that's what I will be doing. So yes, I will be doing custom fittings, but only on appointment, and it has to be in and around when I'm able to do it effectively. Jeppe says, Jeppe, Hepe, apologies for which one it is. Thank you for the answer. I will definitely test that. Good, no problem whatsoever. Golf Fox, I haven't used new wedges for 16 to 18 years. I have bought new wedges many times, but keep going back to the clubs. I know for me, just the smallest changes in weight balance I can feel. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Too many people are very much in a hurry to try and fix something which shouldn't be fixed. People get the itch, etc. Right, so very, very quickly, let's just do PXG first, then Mizuno at the end. Obviously, we have had leaks and stuff. So PXG, I am going this Thursday, Thursday afternoon. I have a fitting session booked, a whole idea, because of the way PXG are as a company, especially for a media partner, in their own words. They always like to get the specifications of the media partner on file as such, so anything that goes on in the future when it comes to heads and stuff, they can quite easily build me for specs. Get that, absolutely appreciate that, and so as long as it's going forward, that's exactly how it's going forward. Then I'm happy. The main concern for the PXG thing initially was me going to PXG and effectively only getting the piece of content that would be for, hey, this is PXG in London, it's their flagship environment, nothing like this in the rest of blah blah blah, here's this, here's that, here's this. That's not anything really for me. That is absolutely all for them, and I'm not getting anything out of it whatsoever. What I want from a YouTube point of view as a media partner is to be very much so a media partner. If they've got stuff that they are trying to sell effectively, because all golf clubs, all golf manufacturers are wanting to sell something, they wouldn't be around if it weren't. But I want all of the heads that they do for testing, for reviewing, to be able to put up on the heat maps on for YouTube and Discord, etc. And so you see actually how good one golf club is compared to the rest, and see how good the PXGs are. Reason why, because actually if you look at the Cool Clubs data, and Andy, you'll be able to help me out on this one because you see that, or if you like these chats, remember that they are weekly for members and a great Discord community too. Absolutely true. This kind of stuff that I do here is a weekly thing for members of my channel. So if you want to be a member, go onto my YouTube homepage. You might even have it underneath this video saying a join button. If you go on there, for as little as £3.99 a month, which is less than a coffee from Starbucks, Costa, or insert your favourite place to get coffee here, you can be a member of the channel, where you obviously get access to the live streams every single Monday, where we discuss all things going on and behind the scenes as well. And also you get access to the Discord, where you can physically compare yourselves, all the irons which are current, which I have tested. You can go on there and actually just, you know what, you can by yourself go on there and just see how forgiving is one golf club compared to another. You're looking at different golf clubs because you're thinking about changing your equipment. How good are they compared to this, that, and everything else? Job done. That's the whole idea of it. They're still chatting in Discord. Carl's now typing. So yeah, that's the whole idea of it. Yep, he's typing twice. Well done. That's amazing. We've got, he's doing both. He's doing Discord and he's also doing, he's got a man of many fingers, many keyboards. So there you go. Right, so yeah, PXG. So they want to make sure that I am fitted the best possible. I have the same fitting experience, blah, 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 which is good. So fingers crossed the way it's going, it means that after this session, one, I will be able to show you what happens in London. I will show you to a certain extent, as long as I can get the cameras right and the microphones, because I'm not set up for remote. I'm set up for my own thing, as in the case of I have got my wireless microphone. I've got another microphone which will pick up more stereo side of things, but so the audio quality for me will be as normal. I'm just a bit more concerned about the audio quality for the fitter, but it should still be okay. We should still be fine. Andy says salesman of the century. What is that? I don't know. I'm not reading what's going on here. So let's move to a private chat. Wait, Jay's a super user. He can follow us. Oh dear, right. That's just going on there. That. Yeah, so it's really interesting that we can actually see, I can actually, from a fitter's point of view, I'm really interested to see what the fitting is. I'll be honest, it's a 2-hour fitting and they're saying it's a full bag fitting. I think for me, absolutely, you can do a good, decent player, you could do a full bag fitting in 2 hours. Yes, okay, no problem with that. I don't understand how they can do a full bag fitting for Joe Bloggs off the street at even whatever handicap, because as soon as you're adding it, especially they are not shaft fitting. The ones that I've seen, obviously Dan Hendrickson did one, and from my side of thing, I'll be doing one, and I know my shaft, as in from a point of view, I don't care what shaft because I'm not shaft sensitive. 99.95% of people are, and so it makes no real difference to me, but for most people, it does. And without using something like the Swing DNA swing analyzer for a shaft measuring point of view, there'll be bumper car fitting. It's difficult. I'll be really interested to see. Fly on the wall. It'd be interesting to see the fitter, if he knows me or not. And of course, I won't say on camera and bits and pieces like that. And I'm tempted to actually be a little bit more kind of like play ignorant to see the process. But I mean, they're master fitters, so for PXG at least anyway, so it will be interesting to see. And I'm looking to hit every single one of their irons to see if there's any difference between them or anything else like that. I'm really looking forward to the whole thing. I need to actually do some swinging because I haven't swung that much at all, which is going to be funny. And I'll probably bring my my 7-iron as well, and I'll probably bring my old set. I might bring my old MP20 set just to be as fair as I possibly can be. I know if we don't beat you in distance or dispersion, we'll give you whatever money it is. I was tempted to go there with a 7-iron dark speed and hit the dark speed because that's a long golf club. Why, give us your money. No, that's not the whole idea, but it will be interesting to see. Jay can be fully fit in 5 minutes, pick any shaft and done. Yep, it's just a case of KBS Tour 120 stiff. There you go, that'll do. Stick whatever head you want into it, and do you know what, for fun, stick a lady shaft and the heaviest shaft you can in there for a little bit of comparison and see no difference. So, right, guys, it is so true. What we got there? So yeah, Carl says the heat maps are incredible. They are very, very good. A lot of work has gone into the heat maps. A lot of work has gone into the heat maps, but they are an amazingly useful tool which allows you to really see how well a golf club works. Very, very good. Mark says, thanks for your content. I tried it at Spoke HL on Saturday and compared to the Ping i530, I'm assuming. I'm currently using, i5, sorry, I'm currently using, was blown away with the difference, truly remarkable. Technology has changed quite a lot. Obviously, if you're going from an i5, quite a lot's going to change, quite a lot. Carl says so true. Jay said, Andy says, if Jay comes home with a set of Black Ops irons, I'm out. I think I might be as well. Although saying that, I mean, you've got tour players nowadays choosing to use more helpful irons. They are retro-spec'd in loft, I'll add. I mean, Luke, he's got a full set of 245s, but they are bent to 241 specs. Carl says, Jay, it might be fun to watch you hit the 2222 Flex XXIO shafts. Why not? I'll hit anything. I don't care. Makes no difference. All I need to know, honestly, I mean, there we go. Andy's on the case. If you want to know what heat maps are like, and there you go. You can see the size of the green to the size of the green. And then you've got obviously yellow and orange and red. And you just see the visible difference. So effectively, when we're talking about the area of the green, that is, when you're looking at about hitting your normal shot, doesn't matter what it is, you just hit your shot, and then Jay's going to have 0317 CBUs on wheel blades. We'll see. I won't have a set of them. Absolutely, I'm not. That was the agreement initially, that I was going to have a full set of golf clubs, and I'm thinking, well, why? Why do I need a full set of golf clubs on the basis that honestly, I won't be using them. You're going to fit me into a 4 to a pitching wedge. Well, you're not going to fit me into a 4 to pitching wedge because I'm not in a 4-iron. But let's just say you are. You'll give me 7 golf clubs, 4 to pitching wedge, 7 golf clubs of a set which I'll only ever use a 7-iron to do a review. I'd much rather use that money and then just, yeah. Anyway, what we got? So. Carl says, show the chat window, Jay. So K is literally whoever K is, don't know, as you can see, just there. K's just dropped in, so everyone's saying hello to K now. Who is K? Have we got anything on K? No, K is just K dot 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 with some very, very freaky eyes going on there. And K's just said, best YouTube content of all time. Only thing I'm allowed to be biased about, but you're right. Of course you are. Right. So, Zexio. Yes, Exio, Zexio, whatever you, yeah, I know, bit of a daft thing anyway. If it's blacks, get an 8 iron to test. That might be fair. Yeah, I know. Carl says, quiz, what is Club A, what is Club B? Right, so we're going to do a little test now because Carl wants to know what is Club A and what is Club B. Club B, Club A, Club B, Club A. What is it? Anyone put down there? Carl wants a quiz. I'll tell you what, can I do a quiz? Can I do a poll? No, I can't do a poll. I can, whatever. Can I play? No. That's just no. Just no. Nor can you, Niels, because I think you might know as well. So, Club A and B. Right, whilst everyone's deciding to write in what they think Club A and Club B is, I have 10 minutes or so to talk to you about Mizuno. Club A is the better club, and B is the worst club. Absolutely right. You can see absolutely that Club A has a much larger green blob than Club B, who has a much smaller green blob, which means Club B, whichever Club B is, means that the fact that that's is going to have a very serious drop-off as soon as you do not hit the exact blooming middle of that. There you go. Whilst this one here, you can actually hit quite a bit around the face and still get away with yellow before it goes into the hosel section. Can you see that? And just how much of the yellow that you've still got running out to the toe and also low. The green runs all the way to the bottom part of the golf club, where on this one you can see there it's surrounded by red all the way around. This is a huge, this is the whole idea why heat maps were designed, to show you the difference in forgiveness between golf clubs, which people do not get. You get YouTubers, you get reviewers that will give you just subjective opinions based on they hit certain types of shots. They've gone, there you go. There we go, look at K-Rog became a new member. Thank you very, very much. K-Rog's now on bronze, so he's very, very kindly jumped on the membership bandwagon, and now, of course, K-Rog has access to all of the compare files that we have, and we have got more and more certain information coming as well. We will keep an eye and keep you updated as to what's going on. Nico, hello nuts. Hello, Nico, hope you're well. Jay's the name, hope you're good. Yeah, so Carl says Adam Scott. Right. Harry says A equals JPX 925 high launch. Everyone's welcoming K-Rog now to the members section. We will see K-Rog next Monday. So every Monday is a members only live stream as well. And so we have once a month, we have open all access. Generally speaking, it's the first Monday of every month. It's just a case that we got a little bit distracted this month because of the fact that I was unwell last week. And I didn't want to cough and splutter over everybody. It's a microphone, I know, but it would be like that. And I've done quite well so far that I haven't had to cough too much, which is good, or if any. Right, Sweet, so excited as long-time viewer. Thanks for all the quality content. It's my pleasure. Again, I try and make the absolute best and most useful and most in-depth information I can for you, effectively. Stuff is expensive. Right, Andy says Mizuno. Okay, let's get off PXG and go on to Mizuno. So there was a, let's see if I can get it just up on the screen. So let's go on that one. I'll just add an image. I can possibly literally just go do it this way. Right, so this very, very quickly, let's just do this. It's nice and easy doing it like that, I think. Where is it? 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 Oh, no, it's not. I thought that was nice and easy. It's not nice and easy. Oh no, okay, it's not. Right. Yes, I want to remove that. Let's just do it. I'm doing this on the fly, guys, so apologise for the boring nature of me doing this. Right, here we go. So, did anyone see this on the internet? Did anyone see that? Oh, we've had another one. Oh, we've missed that. That's a shame, because I like that popping up on the screen. Normally pops up on there. Thanks for subscribing, Hurricanes Clubhouse. There you go. Ryan says the heat maps are outstanding, excellent work. They are. They are a feat of amazement, I think, to be fair. Carl says, just kidding, the heat maps are ARA. What? Did I do good, Jay? I'm confused. I don't know what you've written on here anyway. On the Discord, I'm ignoring that at the moment. I can't deal with too much stuff going on. I'll read that one afterwards. Hurricane, yep, that's what Carl's saying. So we have Orlando Golf Guru, OGG. Yes, I did. Yes, you did what? Sorry. Chichu Audio Man, yup. Everyone is agreeing to something. I can't remember me asking a question that says, yeah, doesn't matter. And he says MP18 SC split carry 2025. It does look very much so like that, doesn't it? I mean, it was surprised me how much, and I did like the MP18 SC. It was the best of all of them, the MP18. I did not like the MP18. The heads were not soft. They were not nothing feels like a Mizuno. It was like nothing feels like a rock, like the MP18 Mizuno, because they changed their process. And they changed their process of how they forged their irons. That was the first year they made the HD process, where they've made a tighter, much more of a compact, they're trying to get the grains all lined up and all this lot, less squidge out the side of the mold and all this lot. They were trying to make a better forging process. But what it did do, it made the head resonate higher pitch. So everyone had the feeling of it being higher pitch, not as, more crisp, not as soft, that kind of idea. So straight away, as soon as the MP18 came out, they had this feedback. The MP20 straight away came out with copper underlay. That's the first thing they did to try and make. Obviously they've had to change their forging process because effectively everyone else was starting to forge like a Mizuno. So I mean, if anyone remembers the older now 2018 Callaway, just the Apex MB, beautiful golf club, like beautiful golf club, shiny and also feels gorgeous. One of my favorites ever from Callaway. So they had to change it. Mizuno had to change it, and of course they did that, made it really quite hard and not very nice, and then brought the copper underlay out. So everything after that has had copper underlay to control that resonance. Again, this does look like one of those. Really interesting. So that is the S3. You can see by the hosel, you can see the fact that it says, let's see if I can make it slightly bigger. It will mean me sort of taking out certain parts of the, but you can see that it says S3 on there, and it says grain flow forged HD. That's still the HD process, 1025E. This is a pitching wedge. I think that's a P on the top there. And I think the pictures that are enclosed in this are of a pitching wedge or 9-iron. So that's the whole idea of it. I don't think we've got anything else on that one, but the whole idea, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're not supposed to be uber picky, but it looks a quite nice golf club. I'm not sold on the step at the moment. The fact that it is pure satin and not shiny in any way is, again, not something necessarily that I like. I'd much prefer that if they did some form of finish on it. I don't like how, if you look at the hosel, it doesn't look finished. It looks like the stamping has been a bit messy. The fact that it looks like it's dug in deeper where the 1025 is. It could be shadows, it could be prototype, it could be anything, which means that this is not the finished retail version, and it's not the finished retail version. It wouldn't make any difference anyway to its performance if it's not finished from a cosmetic point of view, but you kind of get my idea on that one. I think it's a potentially a wonderful inclusion into the Mizuno lineup. Now, excuse me, you two Winnie Pops, I think, honestly, there is no room for it in the Pro side of things with the JPX side of things as well, so something's going to have to give. They've already got, what, 7 models currently as such. So they got the Hot Metal High Launch, Hot Metal Pro, Forged and Tour. They've got the 4.1, 4.3, 4.5. So they've got 8. They've got 8 already. I don't honestly think they've got room to have 9. These golf clubs are much too close to that of the Tour, JPX 923 Tour side of things. So it will be interesting what happens to the Tour. Now, I've already seen the JPX 925 Forged, no Tour. This might be filling in pieces of puzzles for people to understand, is the Tour actually going to be here? And is what we've just seen there, is that going to be the replacement for the Tour? We don't know. It'll be an interesting one. I'd expect the S3, if that's what it's going to be called, I expect the S3 to have copper underlay. I do not expect in any way for it to have any form of massive, huge amounts of tech inside. I would be surprised, but I mean, they've done it before. What they've done with the JPX 925 Hot Metal series is the first multi-material, 2-part cast-bodied model they've ever had. I think that in itself is an amazing thing. So it shows, especially this one, that that effectively they're not afraid to do some weird and wonderful stuff. Right, so let's go get back on to the chat before we disappear. What we saw, yeah, he saw the image online, yes. Yes, I saw that club. Right, hasn't Adam Scott had a few manufacturers making custom? He has a lot. This year, he's had so many different changes to equipment. That guy is lost. That guy just needs direction about what golf clubs he is literally hunting. You can tell by the amount of stuff that he's changed. He is hunting for something which will work. Ryan says, any thoughts on lab putters? Yes, I like the concept. Haven't really spent too much time with them to have a full-on idea of what I prefer. However, I'll be honest, I like the way they do things. I like the way that they are approaching the game. I like how, I don't like the cost of things, I must admit. There must be cheaper ways of doing something. But again, when you're looking at something like putters, which are very much so down the line of, you're not going to be selling 7 trillion of them to make loads and loads of money. So unfortunately, if you're going to sell them, you have to sell them at a higher rate to make the profit back, especially for the R&D. And so they're always going to be quite expensive. But I like the concept, I do. Golf Alex, hey, hope you're doing good. Hi Jay, been a while, hope you're doing fine, cheers all. Yes, doing absolutely, well, brilliant now, feel much better. Right, it's past, I've got to go. I've got some bits and pieces I need to do. Hopefully hopefully tomorrow will be the release of the best of 2024 irons in the player's distance category, at least. We've got the game improvement ones coming after that, and then after that we've got the players and players cavity. I've amalgamated them together effectively to try and make sure that almost fair, because a lot of them for blending, the MB and CBs blend a lot and stuff like that. So I might then at the end of that do a special the best irons of 2024 for slow speeds maybe. Again, get your comments down there, see what you'd like to do anyway. Last one, Tyler says, hi Jay, does your heat map dataset include the ST to Max 230 liner for drivers, fairways and hybrids? Well, we have a template for drivers. We have a couple on there, and we've used the first distance factor heat map for the new JPX 925 fly highs, which are iron replacements. You can see from the information, which I'll just click up on the screen here just to elaborate a little bit more, that Andy just popped up on Discord. You can see that we've got some information on there already. There you go. That gives you an idea about what we are doing. There you go. Right. Andy, so let's do the answers to the questions A and B. Let's just do the A and B. Which one's A, which one's B? So A was the Mizuno JPX 925 hot metal high launch, one on the left-hand side, that one there. And then the one on B was the Callaway AI200. There you go, finger. There you go. Those are two very different golf clubs. GolfNut, cheers all, be safe and be well. Bye-bye. All right, guys, thanks very, very much for watching. I appreciate it as always. Thank you very much for your input. Remember, make sure that you comment on, not say on this video, doesn't really matter, but if you comment as much as you can do and like on my normal videos, make sure you watch them if you can. That'd be really good. It's great for the algorithm as well. And so we will see everybody next month, the first Monday of every month, for the open all access, for you can, yeah, you can have your say to me as a normal subscriber. But if you want to be a member and you want access to the weekly live streams and also with the comparison information on there, the heat maps, etc., then pop onto my YouTube homepage, hit the join button, pop in there, see how much it is. £3.99 I think it is for the cheapest. You have got other tiers on there if you want help with your swing and other bits and pieces on that one. By all means, you can have a look at that one. And yeah, select what you wish. But for £3.99 you get to be involved in the community, the Discord, the weekly live streams, and also have access to heat maps, and the information that we're collecting is one heck of a bargain. Right, good night all, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for input, it's been brilliant as always, and we'll catch everybody very soon.